Can we just step back for a second and appreciate what Black Panther 2 has accomplished? This is a movie about a superhero that isn't even in the movie. There's no standout movie star, and it made $180 million on its opening weekend. That's almost 3 times as much as what Black Adam made, and Black Adam has arguably the biggest movie star. It just goes to show that making a good, quality movie is more important than who is in it. Isn't that right, Rock?
Shut up, bitch!
Okay, folks. This is a spoiler review. I would like to chat freely about some of the things that happen in this, so that's what I'm going to do. Wakanda is suffering from the tragic loss of their King T'Challa, the Black Panther. They don't really say how he died, they just said it was of an unknown illness. I'm okay with that, unless somebody noticed something I didn't. Guess what? Here come the Americans. Fucking around again. They got themselves a new toy that finds vibranium, and they almost discovered an ancient secret underwater society. And boom, we get introduced to Namor. He goes to Wakanda, visits the Queen and Shuri. He's like, dudes, Americans are pissing me off. How about we go kill that person that made that vibranium toy, huh? Side note, the person that made the vibranium toy is Ironheart. So now you got Shuri like, we can't kill this brilliant kid. And Namor, he doesn't give a fuck. He wants his peace and quiet. So this sparks a conflict between two badass cultures. And it's sweet. I don't even know how to fully talk about the characters in this, because there's so many characters with all of their own story arcs. And as a person that prefers stories that are character driven, I almost feel spoiled. Angela Bassett was phenomenal. Once again, she's the queen of Wakanda. She rules Wakanda now, and she's not taking shit from anybody. This woman owned every single scene she was in, and I applaud it. And you know what? I can't believe they killed her. They killed her! Like, what? Wakanda is already down, and Namor just deals this devastating blow, kicking them while they're down. Because you don't fuck with Namor. When Namor says kill somebody, you fucking kill him. This woman drowned, saving the girl that they chose to protect. She followed through. She saved this girl's life. She protected this girl. She put her belief in something. She put her belief in someone and put it ahead of her own life. I felt that shit. Acting-wise, Angela Bassett is the all-star of the movie. Hey now, Angela Bassett, you're an all-star. Shuri, who is arguably the main character of the movie, right? I guess. This poor girl. So much of the weight of the loss of T'Challa is put on her shoulders, and she carries that weight the entire time. She's forced to grow the most in this, and her arc reflects T'Challa's arc from Civil War. The way that they bring in Killmonger to confront her directly about vengeance, it was so on point, and it was so perfect. She had to learn that same lesson that T'Challa learned. This one.
Vengeance has consumed you. It's consuming them. I'm done letting it consume me. Justice will come soon enough.
Tell that to the dead.
The living are not done with you yet.
Definitely getting a copyright claim for that clip, but it was worth it. I think that those parallels between Shuri and T'Challa are great for character building. And I don't know about you, but it reminded me of that moment in Civil War. I was like, oh yeah, that was sweet. This woman that's already struck with grief is just thrown into this mess. She's not in tune with her people's beliefs right now. So when she takes the artificial heart-shaped herb, she doesn't get to see her ancestors or her father or her brother or her mother. She sees the fucking Killmonger. And it's brutal, and I love it. I love me some good tragic character moments, and that was one of them. Imagine Shuri always being aware of what the heart-shaped herb does and getting you to the ancestral plane, and just having that moment destroyed. Can we talk about Namor? I've waited for this guy so long to show up in the MCU, and I think the wait was worth it. Surprisingly though, he's not as much of a hard motherfucker as he is in comics, but I'm okay with that. I wouldn't be surprised if there were other comic nerds that think the same. I think they might have to soften him up a little bit though, to get us to understand his beliefs and his world before he becomes a hard ass. Like when Angela Bassett is giving him shit and he just rolls up to her and he's like, bitch, I'll fucking kill you. I was like, up, there he is. That's my Namor. Great character. I love how they roped his history into the Mayan culture. Thought that was a smart way to divert his character away from Aquaman, because in comic books, Namor is the king of Atlantis. I'm okay with it, whatever. He had his pointy ears, he had the wings on his feet, he looked the part. That makes me happy. He was also a force to be reckoned with. Whenever Namor shows up in comics and it's a surprise, every time you're like, oh shit. And I got that vibe from him in this. That was the vibe I was looking for. Very happy with Namor. You know how that question always comes up when we're introduced to new characters? What were they doing when Thanos was attacking Earth? Why didn't they help when Thanos attacked? Because Namor was under the sea, not giving a fuck. Oh yeah, surprise, Ironheart is in this. I had no idea. Oh yeah, no big deal. Just the Black Panther sequel, we get introduced to the new Iron Man. And I love how they did it too. I like her character. She's the one that Namor wants dead. Shuri likes her because she's a little genius. And she's very valuable to the Americans. Conflict. This also is like a little callback to Iron Man 2? Iron Man 3? I think it's Iron Man 2. When Tony Stark tells the government that his technology is decades ahead of everyone else, now we got a badass chick creating it in a garage. That's also a Bulls fan. I like her a lot. I'm down to see more of her in the future. I would also like to talk about Michonne's character arc for a bit. General of Wakanda, loses a princess, gets fired, then becomes a sweet Wakanda weapon that Shuri creates. It's a lot for a side character to get that much development, and it only made the full story that much better. When Angela Bassett stripped her of her rank as general, that was harsh. Michonne's like, yo, don't take this from me. I gave you everything. And then you get this record scratch moment. Angela Bassett with the hard truth. You're gonna marry a traitor, you joined Killmonger, and you lost my last living child. See ya. That's harsh. But also, she's not wrong. All of these side characters from the first movie really make this what it was, and I have to commend the effort that they all put into it. I loved every performance, and I felt the love that every single person was putting into their performances. This was something that they were doing for Chadwick. The way they stepped up to the plate, you don't get to see that too often on screen. And this movie displays it. Last character thing, M'Baku is my fucking dude. I love that guy. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, I think was pretty great when Chadwick Boseman passed away. They didn't cancel this movie. They didn't have a long time to create it either. These people came together and created something that was unconventional for the MCU. And I don't think that they could have done any better than what I saw. This was a cast and a director that had something to step up to. They had something to prove. And they went all in. And it's there. You can see it. And I appreciate that. And it was good. Something I love about all the Black Panther stuff from any MCU thing that they're in is the culture of Wakanda. They got their own beliefs, they got their own customs, and they're an absolute powerhouse of technology. Now you introduce another culture that's just as powerful in another way, and they're strongly driven by their own beliefs, and you get this great conflict where you can understand where both sides are coming from. You can absolutely appreciate these characters and what they're going through, but that only elevates this intense war between two cultures. While you also have the USA over here stirring the pot. As a director, you can tell where Ryan Coogler has improved with his storytelling. And I'm so impressed with how he was able to create a superhero sequel without a superhero. Honestly, I didn't really have any issues. Maybe the CG here and there was a little wonky, but we know how Marvel is with the CG lately. I'm gonna let that slide. I have noticed people complain about the runtime at 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I think it's pretty obvious that that added runtime was to commemorate Chadwick Boseman. So I'm okay with it. Speaking of which, the opening sequence and how they handled his death was done so well. And the way that they brought it full circle at the end by revealing that he has a son felt like a worthy conclusion. It gave the audience closure that we could accept and be happy with. We were very emotionally grounded in this, and I did feel sad a few times. I might have shed a tear or two. Characters were awesome, story was awesome, a lot of creative technology going on, I like that shit. My big question is, what happens next? This might be a little controversial, but as a comic book fan, I think we bring back T'Challa. Bring in a new T'Challa from another universe or whatever. This character is just too important to let go like that. It fucking sucks what happened to Chadwick. But the T'Challa Black Panther is a huge part of Marvel Comics. And he's incredibly important in so many storylines, especially when it comes to his rivalry with Namor. He's had this amazing rivalry with Namor for decades, and I would hate to miss out on that. Personally, I'd love to see T'Challa brought in from another universe and have to earn his place in Wakanda, and see some friction between him and Shuri as he tries to become the Black Panther of this universe. That's kind of how I feel anyway. Heath Ledger died, and we've had 3 Jokers since then. There have been several Supermans, there's been a ton of Batmans. I would hate to see T'Challa disappear and miss out on the amazing shit that we got to see in comic books. Anyway, Black Panther 2, it was awesome and different, and it was way better than Black Adam, okay? See ya! Subscribe! In Marvel Comics, T'Challa marries Storm from the X-Men. Storm becomes the Queen of Wakanda. He rides Silver Surfer's surfboard. He wields the Infinity Gauntlet. He gets the Phoenix Force. Don't you want to see all that shit? I fucking do.